Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Out of the Box. Hey, look everybody, there's Susan. Instead of making just a random cameo appearance, Susan is our guest today. Well, my guest. Susan is my guest today. Hi, Sue.
Hi, Joe.
And I will tell you, as you're watching this, she hates this. Am I right?
Yeah.
She would much rather prefer the cameo shot than this. So, as you all know, we're on vacation. Look at that view. Whoa, whoa, whoa. We are on the back porch of our condo. It's a screened-in porch, so we don't have to worry about bugs or anything getting in. But the heat sure does get in. Woo, Lordy. It is hot up in here. Anyway, we're going to talk about what we've been going through the past year, and yeah, so that's what we're going to talk about, and how we are moving forward and all that kind of fun stuff. But first, what comes up first? What's up, Gufunk? No, we got to do What's Up, Gufunk. We got to talk about everything that's going on at Godfrey First United Methodist Church. So, let me look at my notes real quick. First of all, there's a men's meeting at 8 o'clock Saturday. If you want to be part of that new, excuse me, it's a revitalization, a restart, however you want to say it, of United Methodist Men's. But I'm not sure that's what they're going to call themselves. Right now, it's a men's group. Men's group is meeting at 8 o'clock Saturday for breakfast, and then they're going to do some work. They're going to put some tomato stakes in the garden. They're going to work on some VBS props. They're coming over to our house to get our lawnmower, I hope. So, and other things going on at church. So if you want to be part of that and participate and see what the men's group is about, that is 8 o'clock Saturday. Tomorrow, no, she has tomorrow. Oh, it is tomorrow. So today, Barb sent me a text last night to make sure I didn't forget anything. If this gets out in time, Widows and Friends is today, but my guess is you're not going to get this in time. So, if you didn't get it in time, sorry, you can go next month. Thursday night Bible study. Thursday night Bible study with Pastor Jay at the church is taking the summer off. A lot of people going on vacation, a lot of scheduling conflicts. As you guys all know, I mean, we're just not in our routine in the summertime, so the Thursday night Bible study is going to take the summer off, and it will start back up sort of around when school starts back up. I'd say end of August, beginning of September, something like that. Jay and Margie Wheeler are heading to annual conference this weekend in Peoria. They're going to be leaving on Thursday, and that goes through Saturday. They're taking all of the excuse me, all the cleaning items and all that we collected to go to the Midwest Distribution Center. They're going to be taking those up to annual conference. So there you go. Pastor Jay and Margie will be heading up there Thursday for the rest of the weekend. There's not a whole lot. Barb said that's about it. It's summertime. Things are just kind of on break. We're just kind of, he's along. Ignite. Ooh, got to talk about Ignite, because summertime is Ignite time. We don't do anything until summertime. We have a performance this Sunday, June 12th, at the New Hope Baptist Church in Warden, Illinois. It's at 6 o'clock. If you all want to show up for that, that would be great. Your support is always greatly appreciated throughout the season. We'll be singing up there. There's two members of our group, Macy and Josie Tyler, that you all saw during Youth Sunday. Josie was the one that had the hat on. It's their family's church. So we're going to go there and sing Sunday at 6 o'clock. New Hope Baptist Church in Warden, Illinois. That is, sorry to say that was it. But there is one more. Arnie Safe is delivering the message this Sunday, June 12th. He had, as I talked about last week, he just had a message on his heart that he felt like God needed him to share. So he talked to Pastor Jay, and Pastor Jay has given the pulpit up to Arnie for this Sunday. So Of course, Pastor Jay will be there. We'll be back, and everything will run smoothly, whatever that means. And but Arnie is going to deliver the message this Sunday, so I'm looking forward to hearing what Arnie has to say. Okay, that's the end of announcements. That's it. Now it's time for the game. But we don't have a game today. Instead, I have prepared for you, stolen off the internet, dad jokes.
Oh, gosh.
All right, so
Why?
we're just going to go. So see, I'm going to see if you laugh, if you groan, or you have no reaction at all. All right? So that'll be the game part of it. All right? Ready? Mm-hmm. I only seem to get sick on weekdays. I must have a weekend immune system. I love this. I've never heard this one. I love when I find a new one. I just found out I'm colorblind. The news just came out of the purple. Get it? Because it comes out of the blue. It's the okay. All right. So we're leaving tomorrow morning. Driving home. I made the hotel reservation for where we're going to stay halfway, and they decided to charge an extra $10 for air conditioning. That's not cool. Okay. You know what the difference between a numerator and denominator is? This is just a short line, but only a fraction of the people will understand that joke. See what she has to live with? You didn't know this about me. I used to run a dating service for chickens, but I was struggling to make hens meet. I forgot to tell you this too. Before we came down, I had a physical, my annual physical, checked everything out, but I was a little nervous because I felt like I was shrinking. So I talked to my doctor. I'm like, hey, I think I'm shrinking. What do I do? And he said, you'll just have to learn to be a little patient. All right.
Oh my gosh.
Here's another one I had never heard of. I don't trust stairs. They're always up to something. Okay. Never date a tennis player. Love means nothing to them. You get that? Love is... Okay. Thumbs down. All right, we'll go... Ooh, I have another page. It's so weird. This one is not part of the joke, but this beard that I have, I didn't always have it, but I started it 8 years ago, 7 years ago?
Down here.
Down here. So this trip is the anniversary of my beard. And at first, I really didn't like facial hair, but then it grew on me. All right. What's blue and not very heavy? You can get this. What's blue and not very heavy?
I don't know.
Light blue. I hate it when people say age is only a number. Age is clearly a word. AGE, right? It's a word. We don't say 1, 2, 3, 4 age.
These are bad.
I know.
So bad.
An apple a day keeps the doctor away. At least it does if you throw it hard enough. We keep that one in. All right. So in 2017, I didn't do a marathon. I didn't do one in 2018, 2019, 2020, or 2021 either. This is a running joke. So how about this? Ever since we started quarantining, we've only told inside jokes. This one, I love this one too. I just read a pamphlet on the shriveling grape market. It was just raising awareness. Why? Thankfully, I only have a few more. Why did the invisible man turn down a job offer? I'm thinking about this. You can figure this one out. Why did the invisible man turn down a job offer?
I have no idea.
He couldn't see himself doing it. All right. At the job interview, I've been on many. They asked me, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I said, well, I'm pretty sure we'll still be using mirrors. See? Okay. I like them. I tried to start a professional hide and seek team, but it didn't work out. Turns out good players are hard to find. Alright. I had an appointment to see my psychic next week, but she just called to cancel. She said I won't be able to make it. I don't know why I think that one's funny. Alright. So, my wife, last night we were talking about cloning. She said, I just don't understand cloning. And I said, that makes two of us. Cloning, two. Okay. How about this? Tell me how you would respond if this was a real deal. We're out for a walk, and you say, look at that couple down the road. He just keeps holding her hand, kissing her, holding the door for her. Why can't you do that? I'm like, well, I don't know her that well. Get it? Okay.
Yeah.
Not as good. I can always tell when my wife is lying to me just by looking at her. I can also tell when she's standing. So lying, standing, lying, laying, maybe. Not as good. I think I ruined it. The delivery on that one. So on the trip, my wife and I, we've decided to not have any kids. They did not take the news well. So how about dude? Dude yelled at me, Dad, you haven't listened to a word I've said, have you? And I thought that was an odd way to start a conversation. I have a great joke about nepotism, but I can only tell it to my kids. You have to tell them what nepotism means. That means you favor your kids.
Oh.
Yeah, gotcha. Today, well, it's not, obviously I didn't do this today. One time, I decided to visit my childhood home. I asked the residents if I could come in inside because I was feeling nostalgic, but they just refused and slammed the door in my face. My parents are the worst. All right, last one. We also told our kids this week that they were adopted. And they said that they wanted to meet their biological parents. And I said, we are your biological parents. Your new ones will be here in 20 minutes. All right, so.
I got robbed. I'd rather have a game.
All right, so here we are at 14:30. That's about what we do, halfway through. All right, so I wanted to wore this shirt on purpose. My wife's fight is my fight. You guys all know. I've seen it. This is the back. We all got these shirts at Christmas time. Except theirs said my mom's fight instead of my wife's fight. Mine says wife. How are you feeling? Let's start by that. Tell everybody how you're feeling.
I'm feeling great. This is exactly what I needed. Our home away from home, the beach, and my kids.
So one thing that we have talked about.
Our kids, sorry.
The ones that are adopted.
The kids.
One thing we talked about at home, and we're going to share, so I hope you're okay with sharing. She was a little anxious and jittery at home, and you were taking some medication to help calm that stuff down, but you've not done any of that here.
When we first got here, twice. That's it. Then that all went away.
Why do you think that is?
I'm relaxed down here, just away from it at home.
Yeah, there's a lot of reminders.
I was in such a bubble at home.
Which was kind of our hope. We talked about that yesterday a little bit. It was our hope in coming down here that you would kind of get out of this bubble. You'd be a little more comfortable. We're able to do more things outside. I mean, we can do things outside now at home, but for a while we really couldn't. Nearly every restaurant down here has outdoor seating, just naturally, and we don't have a lot of that at home. So we still have not gone into a restaurant at all. We've gone to restaurants, several down here, and eaten outside.
Yep. Wear my mask in till we get to the table, and then sanitize my spot.
We still do that. We still sanitize our spots where we sit and wear our masks out and in and all that. We've done a little bit of shopping. That's been new for you. How did that feel? I know I made the announcement during Joys and Concerns a few weeks ago, right before Mother's Day, that you'd gone to
buy
Home
flowers.
Depot to
Outside to buy flowers.
Well, we were outside. I mean, all that stuff is outside. But down here, we've actually gone to the mall. How did that feel going into...
I hadn't been anywhere to go shopping since last October. And the first day we went in, I didn't know what to do. Like, I kind of walked around aimlessly, was very uncomfortable because I felt like, because I had a mask on, so I felt like people were looking at me. But then all of a sudden I saw people over there had a mask on, a couple over there had a mask on, sporadically they had masks on, and that made me feel more comfortable. And
yeah, I have found that too, where I've gone into a few places. I still have not gone to the grocery store. We don't go to the grocery store down here. We ordered everything through Instacart down here just as much as we did at home. We've ordered a lot of DoorDash and delivery dudes down here. We still haven't done a whole lot, but I have found when I've gone into a place with my mask on, I feel more comfortable if I see a few people with theirs on.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that is. Do you have in your mind like a defense, like you're ready to go off on somebody if they make fun of you with a mask on?
Well, I just have to show them that I'm doing it for a reason.
You know, yeah.
Because my defenses are down, and
so
you can probably tell that, but yeah, I'm self-conscious about it.
I've seen people. See, I'm different because I physically don't look that right. But I've seen people like at TJ Maxx or wherever look at you, and they look at you. It's weird because they have. It's not a pity look on their face, but they do have a look like, hey, give her space kind of thing. It's weird. But they do. So that does make it a little bit easier, right? I know. Hey, it's been hard. And we were ready for this trip, like I said, for us to start turning the corner.
Right.
And we even talked about maybe coming to church. What has kept you from coming to church? And I mean, same thing, going to restaurants and shopping and all that. It's all the same. But what else about church that is so awesome about our church, but also scares the bejesus out of you?
People coming up and coming right in for a hug.
Yeah,
happened to me at the Ignite performance.
There is still some personal space issues, and just to kind of give you all a heads up, you are planning on coming back. You'll ease your way back in. And it's not that we don't want to hug and shake hands, and we're probably perfectly safe in doing so. But as we talked a year ago, coming out of COVID initially, there's a curve there. You have to get used to all that again, and we've gone now over 2 full years without having that kind of contact.
Yeah.
And now it's been heightened over the last few months.
And I was kind of waiting for my doctor to give me the encouragement to start doing some of those things. And since if I'm masking up, he thinks I'm safer since I got those injections. Obviously, it's helped because with you and Dude getting COVID down here, I mean, I'm shocked that I didn't get it. I mean, we did precautions, but I mean, I was really scared. That was my huge fear, was coming to Florida and me getting sick, and my doctor in Barnes was all the way away.
Right. Even though there are doctors here, you felt more comfortable being with your doctor.
So when you guys came down with it, I was terrified. Cried, called my doctor. They've talked to me twice on the phone, especially when he got it the next time, and we were doing everything we could. I was already exposed at that time, so.
But remind everybody too, it's not just a COVID thing.
Yeah. Oh, it's anything. Cold, flu. Yeah, I have to be careful from anything.
So again, as a reminder, when you got your high dose chemo, which killed everything out of your system, she also lost all of her childhood vaccines.
Right.
So we were told it's not just a COVID thing. Like you said, it's a cold and flu thing. I mean, it could be a chickenpox thing. It could be anything. You're susceptible to anything. Mm-hmm. And although you're taking whatever your medicine is for
an immuno booster 3 times a day.
Yeah, you still take that 3 times a day, and you got this COVID. I can never remember the name of it. Evusheld or Shelled or something like that. COVID booster.
It's a pre-exposure.
But it's not the booster shot like everybody else has gotten. It's oh well, I can't think of the name of it. Look it up. So, what do you think now about heading home?
I don't want to go home. I want to stay here. I'm gonna bawl tomorrow, but
yeah, it sucks.
I don't want to go back home to the feelings I had at home. I don't want to be scared and shaky, and so I hopefully go home and start doing a little more.
So like I said, our hope was that coming down here, you're able to relax a little bit more and ease your way back into more public things and get to even outdoor restaurants. Maybe we'll find some outdoor restaurants at home and do some stuff at home. I want to go back to, because this is something I kind of want to talk about too. And it's hard for both of us to talk about. November. Back in November, when, actually, let's go into October. You had a hurt shoulder, and I had my sinus surgery in September. We have this stupid, it's been fixed now, but we had this stupid door to go out to our patio. That was a heavy wooden and glass door, and it was off the track somehow, and it really was a struggle to open and close. And I actually hurt my elbow. I had tendonitis in my elbow. And you hurt your shoulder because I couldn't do it at all during my sinus surgery.
Right. So I was letting the dogs in and out, and you have to pick up. You have to I had to pick it up to move it. So my arm was starting to get sore, and then when I tripped and caught myself, that's what did the injury. And they really thought I had torn my rotator cuff because I couldn't lift my arm.
You couldn't lift your arm. Nothing.
Yeah.
And when we went to see the orthopedist, he lifted your arm for you, and you could not hold it up. Yeah, it dropped. So instantly he thought torn rotator cuff.
Yeah.
And
so that day before we left, I had a MRI. Mm-hmm. Had an MRI. Was supposed to go back 2 days later, totally expecting him to say I had a torn rotator cuff. Did not expect him to say what he said sitting across from me, that there was a lesion back there, and And he had already talked to an oncologist at Barnes, sent my scans to Barnes. Before I left that parking lot, wanted me to call. They were going to get me in as soon as they could. I mean, my heart went out to him because he was amazing with us.
Dr. Burke.
He did. I mean, that was hard for him to have to tell us that.
Yeah. He even said, I'm going to talk to you as friends. We're friends now, right? So we can be honest. This is the second time I'd met the guy.
Yeah.
But he had seen your dad before.
Yeah, I'd been there before.
So you'd
with my
been
dad.
there before, so you kind of knew him a little bit more. And he had already called WashU to a orthopedic surgeon to confirm what it was, and we went in there, and he confirmed it. I don't think he didn't even do an exam on you. He looked at the same X-rays and stuff or MRIs, right?
No, he. Then I had a bigger scan and a biopsy.
Okay. It all runs together.
Yeah, it all runs together. I had a biopsy and a different scan,
and so
that's when that doctor wanted to see how aggressive it was, because that's when we thought it was just a tumor. And then that's when they got those back.
So he confirmed that's what it was.
Yeah.
That it was multiple myeloma. Well,
no.
It was
that doctor then sent us to
sure.
my doctor now, my oncologist now.
But it was a tumor.
Yeah.
He confirmed that it was a tumor. And I'll never forget. I hate talking about it, but I'll never forget walking in the parking garage back to the car. You and I were pissed, and I hate to be sorry. I told y'all last week. I speak French fluently. We were mad. Yeah. We were mad.
In shock.
Not at the doctors or anything. We were mad at God.
I was mad.
After the year that we had gone through with the passing of your mom and dad, and then 3 of our 4 kids graduating, all 4 of them moving somewhere, all that kind of stuff. I had my sinus surgery, all that. I mean, we were ready to settle and become.
Dude had gone to college. We were ready. We had gone to California to see Brad.
We had an empty nest that we were going to work through, and then all of a sudden, bam, this hit. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah, I was mad.
Didn't use the word freaking, though, I'll be honest.
It was definitely a gut punch.
I was mad. I was mad at God because now people say God has a plan and He allows things to happen. I don't believe He allows things to happen. I think in God's plan He knows things are going to happen, but I don't think He allows or disallows. I just think He just knows. So He knew we were going to go through that, I guess. So for me personally, I started to have doubts about all kinds of stuff.
I did too. I couldn't pray. I didn't watch church for a while. Really, I was just heartbroken.
And having doubts about your faith is awfully tough when you're a church employee. You know, it's really hard talking to the youth and standing up in front of the church and singing and leading worship when you're having doubts yourself at that point. And after you were, let's back up now. So we go to Dr. Schroeder just a few days later. I forget how long it was, a few days later. Mm-hmm. And it was on a Tuesday, I remember that. And Dr. Schroeder's like going through all the protocol. Yeah, then we're going to do this and this and this, and then
he wanted to put me in the hospital
few
immediately.
Months, and you were admitted that day, and like, man, we were not ready for that.
No.
To be admitted that day. So that's your 1 week stay in November.
Bone marrow biopsies, PET scans, radiation, and chemo, all within like 5 days. He got started, and
And I tell you what, the staff and I've said this many times, the staff at Barnes, Siteman, WashU could not be better. I've said it many times. I've said it to them that I know we're just customers, really. We're just a number. And they won't remember who we are, but we'll never forget them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I still have a list in my phone of all the nurses you have, Andy and Kayla, and I mean, some of them They were just awesome. And so that was cool. But still, we battled with our faith a little bit and had conversations with our kids about their faith. And this is where some of you that are watching this that are on the leadership, when we had the leadership retreat, you remember when I said that we're starting to have a push from this younger generation that they're losing their faith in religion. They're not losing their faith in God, but in religion, in the people, and in the organized religion. And I started to have doubts about that too. I didn't have any doubt about the people at Godfrey First, because tell me what they've meant to you.
I can't even describe it. Just the outpouring from our church family, Facebook family, neighbors, just anyone that heard what was going on. Just the support is amazing. Just
we heard from people,
cards and gifts and food and messages and texts and phone calls, and they are still happening. How are you doing? I'm thinking about you. You're always in my prayers.
I got a phone call yesterday from Al Bell. I haven't talked to Al in a couple of years, at least, and he called just to see how you were doing.
Yeah.
And how we were doing.
Yeah. It's been amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So the people were great. But again, with all the doubts and all that kind of stuff, I was in a very rough time. And to be honest, still am. I'm not really sure the direction the church is going to go. Not just our church, the church. I want to make that clear. Not Godfrey First. I'm not talking about the split, all that mess. But what direction is the church going to go in? So I have doubts about that. I have doubts about faith still. And I tell the youth all the time that that's normal.
Mm-hmm.
It's
but
okay.
It's gotten better. Like, I'm not mad. Like, I'm not mad anymore at God. I can pray again now. I lean on Him. Like, at first, I just was numb. I couldn't even do any of it.
So I
couldn't listen to any music. Any Christian music, nothing.
So here's where it turned for me. When you were first diagnosed, I saw a counselor. And we're both seeing counselors now, separately to therapists on how to deal with this. I wanted some tools to help her and help us get through this whole process. And she's not a Christian-based therapist. She's just a regular Alton area therapist, right? But she's a churchgoer, and so we talked a lot about faith, probably more than anything else. And when I told her about my feelings in the parking garage that day where I was mad, she's like, okay, so you were mad. You ever get mad at your parents? You ever get mad at your spouse? You get mad at people you love. And it's okay. It's okay to get mad. So, and I felt guilty for being mad. And I don't anymore. I mean, I was pretty mad. I still get mad thinking about it. But, our kids make us mad, or we make them mad. I'm sure. But I don't love them any less, and I don't think they love us any less. That's how it is with God as well. That might make you mad because you don't understand why things happen when they do, but He's there to help us through it, and I feel like He has helped us through this.
I still don't understand why.
Nope. The timing of it.
I'm on this road that is just going to last forever. There's no end to it. I mean, for my multiple myeloma, but I'm dealing with it better now.
But the people at Godfrey First have been amazing. Like you said, we still get calls and texts and emails all the time. Get cards in the mail. Yeah. People come to me every Sunday. They don't care how I'm doing anymore. No, I'm kidding. No, actually, that's a joke, because most of them that come up to me ask me how I'm doing too, which is very cool.
Yeah. It's just as hard on the caregiver. I mean, it is. You've been amazing.
But so we have to thank the people at Godfrey First for helping us get through this, and we continue to lean on you and look forward to your help. The youth. Yeah. The youth. Oh, I don't know what I would do without them. Yeah. The youth have been amazing.
Yeah.
During all this, been very supportive.
Their families have been.
The times when, out of a ridiculous amount of caution, we've canceled GPS because a couple of people. Oh, after a winter jam, I told everybody at church we didn't go to winter jam. We normally do, but I just canceled youth that day. No, I didn't. We had youth, but some people still went to winter jam on their own, and some of our youth caught COVID. So the following Sunday, I canceled GPS and did it on Zoom instead, out of a ridiculous amount of caution, because we didn't want to get it and pass it on. So they've been very nobody complained, nobody argued, nobody fought. They just did it. They've rolled with it. Ignite is the same way. They've gotten used to you not being there. They hate when you're not there. But we had the 2 weeks that we were in the hospital, and Heather Rothy, thank you Heather, went and did rehearsal a couple weeks, and they just rolled with it. They were great. They were fine with it. So we're looking forward to a summer with them.
Right. And also, since this completely started, I have not gone on the internet and Googled one thing about what I have.
Oh, no.
Because I had to take it one day at a time. My sister told me, don't look forward, don't look back, just live in the moment, take one day at a time. And she's been my other rock. Couldn't have done this without my sister either. Anytime I have a doubt or a pain or feel something, she'll get on and find out other myeloma patients if they're experiencing the same thing, or they experience the same thing after their transplant, and helps calm me down. So she's been huge in helping me get through this.
So this whole thing, and I know we're running late, but I don't care. If you're tired of watching, you know where the stop button is. But I want to talk about it because we're not going to talk about this much anymore. But and actually, I wasn't really prepared to talk about it today, but because I got COVID down here, I wasn't able to make the arrangements with. I was going to talk to a pastor from the church that we have visited before, and I wasn't able to make that connection and all that. So we'll do that in October when we come back down. So yeah, you got bumped. You got bumped out in the schedule. But I wanted to share with you all that she's doing great. We're doing great. You're getting stronger. Our faith is being renewed. We're getting there. Wanted to thank you all for all of your support and help along the way. Things have also, honestly, I'll be honest. You see things differently now. Things are in a different perspective. I'll be honest, I used to feel bad when I'm like, hey, I'm going to go down to Florida for 2 weeks. And I felt bad telling Jay or SPRC. And right now, you know what? I'm going to Florida for 2 weeks. And you know what? We're coming back in August or in October. We're going out to California. We have to take time now to do stuff. Yeah. Church is great. We have options to record early. We have options to make stuff still happen. I know it's not the best, but we got to take some time for us. Kids are out of the house. Kids are all here, which has been very cool, but we have to learn how to become empty nesters finally. We got to ease our way back into society and ease our way out of this bubble.
Back to work, hopefully. I can't go back to work till after I get my boosters, my childhood boosters and my COVID, and that's not till 6 months after transplant. So that was in March, so September.
So we're hoping September or so.
And some of those you get half, and then you get the other half. So it's probably October-ish.
All your childhood vaccines, you got to get all those again.
Yeah.
So we're easing our way back in, but we're going to take some time with each other and with our family, and that's just how it's going to be. So, that is, we are 10 minutes over.
Not bad.
No, it's the longest interview
Could have
we've
cut
done
out some
so
of those
far.
dumb dad jokes and it'd have been okay.
Wait,
But
what? But that's been our most emotional out of the box so far. I do have on the schedule, I don't know exactly when, but I have talked to Al Bell yesterday about being a guest. I've talked to Arnie Safe about being a guest, Don Basil about being a guest, and McLaughlin is coming up in the next week or two to talk about VBS. So I do have people on the schedule ready to go, and I'm looking forward to more episodes of Out of the Box. This has been an awesome episode. Man, I think it's episode 6 of Out of the Box.
I don't know.
I am Joe Leonard with my lovely wife, Susan, bidding you farewell from Jupiter, Florida.
Thanks, Godfrey first.